Ready to overcome the lows that will happen and be ready to persevere in the face of the criticism. Yes, they will let you know when you are not performing well.
And this was
every time.
This is not what I was expecting today.
They will also love you if you show effort, aggression.
It was honestly one of the hardest things.
The will to fight.
I have it on right now. It's still on.
If you love it,
but
the way you love your brother. You will be loved by going above and beyond.
Yeah, Rylan, I thought he would be back one more year as well. I'm actually a little shocked.
They've been caring for generations in this town about
oh man.
And they aren't about to accept a bunch of excuses.
I thought he would be here another year. I was not expecting this.
They've invested their entire lives in. If you don't like what the fans and media are saying as a player,
obviously it goes
love them.
It goes a lot further than football, guys. It's a whole career of ups and downs and a whole career of just great memories with Jason Kelce, and you know, that's all that matters, you know what I mean? It goes past the football aspect a lot, you know. This is a living legend at the end of the day, so you know, what this means for the future of what we're gonna do, I have no idea. I mean, you know, now you have a huge hole at right guard, which I expect Cam Jurgens is going to go right to center. It wouldn't shock me Kelce's going to come back to help the offensive line with Jeff Stoutland, and it wouldn't shock me. I don't think he's going to completely leave the Eagles and just like disappear, you know, all off season. I think he's still going to be a big part of not necessarily the drafting process, but I feel like he will be somewhat coaching. I mean, as an assistant or some shit this year.
You go above and beyond in this city, you will be
so
beyond your wildest dreams. I saw firsthand the wrath of the Eagles fans in the 2016 Eagles season.
So it's gonna get yeah. So now you have a hole at right guard now. I mean, that's where you're at now. Unfortunately with Tyler Steen at right guard being a little too raw, needs another offseason, obviously. But the combine has been pretty good the last few days. I didn't do a video on the last day. I didn't even watch the last day with the offensive linemen, so I have to go back and watch that day. But I thought what we've gotten so far from the combine was pretty damn good. The wide receivers especially were just wow. Yes, Jason Kelce's retired. It's done. Hey, Kelce's officially retired. So, but I want to say hello to everybody in the chat. This is the first on the road Eagles road to free agency stream. We're going to be doing these every single late morning of every day until free agency and maybe a week after. So this is the month where we're going to get, you know, the draft highlight reactions are going to come for all members by later today, every day of the month and stuff, you know, of the couple months that we have until the draft. And we got a lot of stuff going on. So Really excited to see where this team goes, what decisions they make, and yeah, I mean now you have an issue at right guard now. I don't think they'll keep Cam at guard and draft a center. I mean, I don't know, but I don't know if they'll put any money into. I don't know if you'll put any money to right guard. Dude, this sucks. This really fucking sucks. This sucks. Ryan says Jason Kelce will be missed. Chris is gonna miss you, Kelce. Enjoy retirement, legend. Cam, your time is now. Yeah, dude, it's yeah, it's very emotional. This isn't like some Aiden says, why did I lose my membership? I got it on the 12th. I mean, you probably got the date wrong, probably because you've already had it for a month, and sometimes YouTube takes it away after a month where you have to rejoin again. So sometimes you do have to rejoin. It's not a continual thing where it will charge you every month. So I think you just have to rejoin. Ace is definitely was thinking if he didn't retire the season, he was gonna. I figured it would have been one more year. Tommy says, I have a weird feeling that Kelce knew something we didn't know about the future of this team. Maybe he's seen that weren't going to a Super Bowl run anymore soon. Hate to say it. No. Oh, you guys are gonna suck this year. Or, oh man, I don't like what you're doing with this team. I'm definitely gonna retire. I don't think so. I think it was his body and just, a lot of thought went into it. That's all. I think just a lot of thought went into it. Like, people are gonna over fucking do it, and they're gonna say like, "Oh, Kelce didn't like the direction of this team. That's why he retired." And I don't think that's the case. You know what I mean? I don't think that's the case. Devs, I don't know what we're going to do at center. It's going to be Cam now. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be Cam. Yeah, I mean, Cam Jurgens is definitely going to move to that spot, 100%. You don't have any. I mean, besides Tyler Steen, there's really nobody. I mean, you don't have any depth at offensive line right now either. Like, Sue Opeta's gone. No Jack Driscoll. Oh. You have no depth right now. I mean, we haven't really signed anybody. We haven't really gotten through that yet. That process yet. I don't know what's in the draft at guard. I know there's some guards available right now in free agency, but with the money that the Eagles are going to have, it's one position I wasn't thinking we were going to spend money on, which kind of sucks because I would have wanted a little bit more, We got Radiation Bots member for 11 months. Thank you so much, man. He says, shout out to great Jason Kelce, will be missed. 100%. Yeah. This takes out of your whole day of everything else to talk about, really, because now, like, not only did you lose a fantastic player, a guy that represents the city with just showing his face, but now you have a big hole at this position now, unfortunately. And there are guards available that are probably better than Cam that played guard, to be honest. There are guards available in free agency, even guys that are just productive. We'll see how they treat that position. I have to look at, I know some guards are available that aren't going to get paid a ton of money. So we'll see. Let's see. Marcus says the strength of our line. I think the strength of our line's fine. Yes, it took a hit just now, but Cam is going to have to go crazy at center. You got to think about it like this, too, because Cam hasn't had any game time reps as a starting center, maybe a couple, but, well, not a couple, but he's had more off-season reps. But second team offense, Cam Jurgens is always playing center. But, you're not getting game reps with him. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know how this is going to go. Van Lawrence says Kelce was going to be another $15 million on the cap, so we have a ton of money. All right, so I want to see. So yeah, so he had So they redid Kelce's contract, I think, last year, if I'm not mistaken. So what is the money looking like? If it's $44.5 million, $43.5 million, whatever it is right now, Byard gets cut. What do you have? I don't know what the retirement, how much money he gets. If the Eagles get money back for Kelce retiring, I don't know. Hopefully some news on the numbers. So, yeah, the brotherly shove was a whole thing too with that play, and Kelce's the main reason why that works. Obviously Hurts is a part of it too, but with the strong lower body that Hurts has, but. Gary Diesel with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, oh, hold on. I can't see that because it's stupid. Okay. Dre just said, damn Shakes, this shitty day. I haven't cried since we won the big game. People on YouTube talking shit, no class. What? Why? Talking shit about what? That he's leaving the team? Like, why would you treat the guy like shit for leaving the team, dude? I could never be like that asshole that completely rips somebody down for retiring. Like, Kelce's been contemplating this shit since... Kelce's been contemplating retirement since when? Like 2015, 16? I mean, I'm not even kidding. That's been years he's been contemplating retirement. You don't do that shit. Touchdown Ref says, I think Cam will be fine. He was handpicked by the GOAT. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was a collaborative pick by Howie Roseman. By Jeff Stoutland and Jason Kelce. So, it's not necessarily like, are we not going to be productive at center? It's can we find a guard? I think you could find a guard. And I'm not saying Cam was the worst guard, but I don't think he was anything like, oh my God, we have to keep him in that position. If Kelce even retires, we need to still try to keep him at guard if we can. So, oh yeah, I saw that. It's guys that have no fucking life, dude. He said, I'm gonna watch stream later. Gotta go cry real quick. Chief says it's time for Jace to be a father. Yeah, it's time to be with his family, dude. Think when you're playing football, like, yeah, you're home, but you're tired all year. Get it? I think he was enjoying himself a lot, especially when KC was in the playoffs, the Super Bowl, and I think he really enjoyed just that type of life. I mean, Jordan Mailata kind of gave us the instant of that he probably wasn't coming back. Lennon says it's dead money, Joey. They redid his contract after the season. And it's only $2.5 million against the year's cap, with the rest kicked down the road. All right, so they're just going to be eating up money for the next few years or whatever. They're going to spread it out, and that's fine. I didn't know the situation with his money or anything like that, so. You said someone on X said it was because of Hurts. That shit was hilarious. Of course. Of course it's going to be Jalen Hurts because everything's blamed on Jalen Hurts. Devin said, I hope people don't say that. Here comes Eagles downfall because Kelce, man, shut up. Says Linderbaum, Creed, Humphrey were better options. Robert says, our line takes a hit today, but still have a good nucleus. Oh, yeah, you know what? At the end of the day, you don't think Jason Kelce was talking to the front office and Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman and updating them on what's going on with him? And I mean, I'd be shocked if this was a huge surprise to Howie or something like that. It's not. Like, Howie knew this was going to happen. So, I think moves. I think he's Howie Roseman's already prepared to somewhat make this move. You know what I mean? To be prepared without Jason Kelce. Donner says Kelly took a shot at Slay at the press conference. Cool. People can't handle playing in Philly or soft. That's why guys that are not drafted here, you never keep long term. It just depends, you know what I mean? That's why you have to draft everything in-house, because when you pick up players from other rosters, there's people that just can't handle it. There's players that can't handle it. Slay can't handle it. Obviously, you know how I feel about Darius Slay. As the person, I love him. As the player, I can't stand him. I can't stand him. Johnny Nell says, resign Swift ASAP, #1 priorities. Yeah, so a video is going to come out later today or by tomorrow morning, probably. And it looks like Swift is going to test the market. So he's making a decision where Swift is going to test the market. Doesn't mean that does it mean that he's gone? I don't know, but it sounds like he might be gone. That, you know, there are teams out there that going to have more cap than the Eagles. Washington, especially with $93 million in cap space, I think second highest on the team. Second highest in the NFL right now that has all the cap space. So I don't know there's going to be teams willing to pay him a lot more. And, you know, I don't think they're going to get paid over $10 million a year. I don't think it's ever going to happen with these running backs. I feel like there are better running backs right now in-house when it comes to the NFL, when it comes to what's on the market than what we're getting in the draft, to be honest with you. I wasn't really a big fan of, you know, Brandon. I don't know. It's a couple, maybe one or two guys I liked running back wise, but I don't think it was anything to shake a stick at. I don't think if you're getting like a rotational guy, I think there's some guys that are be pretty good. You know, so, you know, we'll see. Vi Jones would you take Worthy at wide receiver that ran 4.2 and 22 in any situation? I already talked about this the other day, and Xavier Worthy. Now, I just did a video this morning. Definitely watch it. But this, I think, definitely changed the draft, whether it's Worthy, whether it's some of the other guy from Texas, the bigger receiver from Texas. You know, because Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown aren't going to play together for more than 2 years, you're empty at wide receiver 3. I feel like you could still go I still feel like you could still get a cornerback that's going to bail down a little bit. I think you could pick up. I think somebody's going to drop. I think some of these receivers are going to drop where you can move up with 1 year, 2 second-round picks, 4 fifth-round picks to the first round, and still get the player that you want. I feel like you could still get your corner in the first round, and I feel like you can get one of these wide receivers. Add that receiver to wide receiver 3 for this year, but not just for this year. This could be your other #1 receiver once A.J. Brown probably leaves in the near future, because you're not signing 2 receivers to $20+ million. I feel like the Eagles have a lot of interest at wide receiver. I feel like this is an outside the box move that nobody would expect, but why not add another weapon and add more youth to your defense? Me and Philly were talking about it yesterday. I texted him last night. It was like, holy shit, this might make a lot of sense. And plus and this is only because the Eagles are going to have a good amount of money right now. If the Eagles didn't have a good amount of money, I wouldn't go crazy with it, but because they have the money, have over $40 million already, $43 million, 44.5, from one move, with HaasonReddick being extended, you're going to save $11 million. That's over $50 million. Avonte Maddox, post-June cut, 7.1. You can have over $60 million in cap space, which the Eagles never have. Take advantage of it. Add more youth to your defense. You could still get Van Ginkel. You could still sign a veteran safety if that's what you want to do. You can go into the first round. Really, free agency should be safety, linebacker free agent, safety free agent, running back free agent. You know, and now we have to figure out the whole guard situation. So let's just put that to the side. Go into the first round, still get your cornerback. Use 1 year, 2 second-round picks. Use one of your 4 fifth-round picks. I mean, you know, to move back into the first round. I think they can go get one of these receivers, to be honest with you. And then, you know, because I think realistically, I think the only question is, like, are all the pass rushers going to be gone within the top 15? I mean, edge rusher wise, I don't think they dip into D tackle. You know, I don't think so. I mean, you have Milton Williams, you have Moro Ojomo. They've already spent 2 first-round picks on DT, so I don't know how far they go into it, you know? Great Diesel with a big super chat. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it so much. He says, so the plan stays the same. Beef moves to center. Steen and Opeta will hold down guard, and Lane will still need a replacement. Only question remains Beef's health. Maybe we can take that center from Oregon. Yeah, so, well, we don't. All right, so number one, we don't have Sewell Opeta. He's a free agent. Both guys, so Opeta, Driscoll, free agents. You're going to be moving Juergens to center anyway. But yeah, I mean, Juergens does have a little bit of a health issue. He's been hurt like a little bit, and you get beat up. You get real beat up. You need to. I mean, Jason Kelce is a perfect example where it shows you that the center position, you got to be tough at that position, and you have to. And he's played through injuries and dislocations and bruises, and I mean, so badly injured throughout a year, and he's had worse years than this past year. But this is probably one of the, this is big, man, because you start getting blown up. If Cam Juergens, you don't even have a reliable backup behind Cam, and Cam is the main guy going in. So I'm interested to see if the draft kind of changes at this point. I don't know. I feel like they can get a promising right guard, maybe in free agency. I know there's a few guys available that aren't going to get crazy money that I think could plug in really well. A plug-in player is actually a good player for us. With your offensive line, that's pretty damn good. And yes, Lane Johnson only has a couple years left. I mean, Lane doesn't look like he's falling. Lane's only problem is his health, because he always gets hurt. Between his ankle and everything else, he gets hurt. The last few years he's had an injury every year, so it's been kind of crazy. Donnie Force has had Joey Howie's probably going to go guard at of center now that Kelce is gone. We'll see. I know there's rumors right now that 4 out of the 5 the unofficial visits are offensive linemen, and this is on top of if they knew that Kelce was leaving, which I expect they probably thought he's been leaving the last few weeks. I don't think they were left in the dark, but I heard rumor wise it's not official yet, even though people are trying to make it official when it's really not. I heard 4 out of the 5 first 5 visits, or at least 4 of them, are offensive linemen right now. And the Eagles are going to take care of the trenches, there's no doubt. The Eagles aren't just going to, they're not just going to let this thing roll, Hold on. Kavai Jones says, yeah, agreed. This is too talented of a draft class in cornerback and receiver not to grab one each day. That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. I feel like at the end of the day, dude, but it's just one of those things where you're getting best player available in the first round. And I'm telling you right now, if Xavier Worthy is available, even if the Eagles move up a few spots, I mean, it could be Dante Mitchell. If any of those guys are available, I feel like you have to grab one. I feel like you really have to grab one. So that's how that goes. Because at the end, look, if you have no depth at receiver, you don't have a wide receiver 3, and AJ Brown's not going to be here forever. Okay, he's here for 2 years, and that's really it. You know what I mean? So it may sound stupid to sign a wide receiver, but it's not, because that guy could produce at your number 3. And I mean, look, I'd get one of those 2 guys, one of those guys, boys from Texas. I'd get Ladd McConkey in a fucking heartbeat. In a heartbeat. So we'll see what happens. Ladd McConkey they're saying that Ladd McConkey might be more than just a slot guy, that he might be an actual an outside receiver, which I'm going to kind of pull back a little bit. I don't think he's a first round pick. There's no doubt, because I think a lot of people are down on his size, but the guy could stop and space on an instant, change direction at 100% speed. I mean, his catching is smooth, his route running, his explosion off the line is ridiculous. It's crazy. Wombat Zombat, what's going on, man? It says Kelce to go first ballot for sure. JM says, with Kelce retiring, you know how he's going to go right to the trenches again. It could be, man. It could be. Why can't Dickerson be center? Because he's already played left guard for a long time. If you move Dickerson to center, you're creating a whole nother hole. You're creating a whole nother hole, dude. There's no way you're doing that. You know, that would be a really bad. You're creating two holes now, or one, probably one, but you don't want to. Because I don't think Dickerson will play good at center because he hasn't done it in a while. I don't care if he played it in the past. He's been playing at a left guard. Look, he started at right guard, didn't work out. I think it was 2021, yeah, where he came in for Brandon Brooks on an injury during the home opener for the 49ers game. Didn't play well. Then switched him to left side, and he was great. He was a natural. Mr. Ruby Poo with the super chat, thank you so much, man. He says, after what Kelce said, there's absolutely no way you don't get rid of Slay, right? We want motherfuckers who can handle being in Philly. I've told you guys a million times, all right? I like Slay as a person. I don't like him as a player. I really don't. He is showing that little fucking press conference with him and Steven Nelson. Like, that was it. I mean, seriously, I've been done with him, but Jesus Christ, man. I mean, it's just to a point now where I can't even take. I mean, you have a C on your chest. You're a captain of this team. And this is the shit that you do. You're a captain, and this is how you act as a leader. I don't see Kelce ever complaining about the fans. I never see Lane Johnson or Brandon Graham because they were drafted here. That's why that's why I like going after free agents, but then like I feel like we don't know what we're expecting of how they react to the city when things go good and when things go bad. That's where the test is. Crazy, man. It's crazy. Toilet Paper says Ladd, Adonai, Xavier would all be great. I wouldn't care which one. I honestly wouldn't. Yeah, I mean they're gonna pay him too, bro. They're gonna pay him soon. Ladd is better wide receiver than Worthy. Remember, many great speed receivers coming from college stuck in the NFL. J. Ross was one of them. I think Ladd brings more to the table than just speed. I think it's route running, explosiveness off the line. He's just more of he's a master class route runner. I mean, he's a master class, dude. Yeah, that press conference sucked, dude. That ruined the whole fucking day about anything else. I mean, not to talk about stuff, but it takes over everything because now it's like, man, not only you're emotionally fucked up, now we have a big hole at right guard now, you know? So it kind of changes a lot. Mayor says, what's the rookie wide receiver dude from the Saints and Wilson from the Jets? Joey, that's literally what Ladd is. That's kind of wide receiver. Well, I hope he turns into that. You're talking about, I know who you're talking about from the Saints. I forgot his name as well. But that's what I think of him as. Like, he's not just a Quez Watkins like speed, and like there's so much more of what he could do. And I think I mean, Mayor, I think you're the one that got me into Ladd McConkey a lot, you know, when you talked about him probably a month ago, maybe. And I was like, holy shit, this is great. This guy is awesome. Chris Scott, member for 28 months, dude. Damn, dude. Thank you for being here for a long time. Says, Joey, can you check to see what Slay and Bradbury together would cost us if we cut both after June 1st in dead cap money? Sure. I could check really quick. Hold on. I can't type today. All right, so I mean, hey, you guys wanted it. I guess I'm gonna give it to you. A cut post June 1st. $8 million for Slay and $6 million for Bradbury. Oh, for dead money. Yeah. So yeah, it's you're gonna be 6 in the hole for Bradbury, $10.4 million in dead money. And Slay, you're gonna be $8 million in the hole, $18 million in dead money. So theoretically, 18 and 10. Yeah. You're going to be well over, man. you're going to be close to $30 million in dead money if you cut both of those guys. Bradbury, unfortunately, Bradbury is the easy contract. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. Bradbury is an easy one. All you have to do is really extend him for a couple years and then cut him. And I think you're fine after that. So I wouldn't go too crazy on that one. That's a lot of money, though. I mean, that's a lot of dead. That's a lot of dead cap, unfortunately. Kind of crazy. Misery Pooh says Jurgens will be solid at center, and Steen was pretty good whenever he got in. We don't use a first round pick on O-line, really. I don't think they go that direction. No, I don't. I feel like there are productive right guards. I know there are a few available. I forgot a couple of them. I have to go look and see now. I because this news just came out, like before I started streaming, like I didn't go into the stream knowing that this was going to happen today. Like I made this stream and then I just saw the thing that said that Jason Kelce was retiring. So I was like kind of confused on it. But what do you guys think draft wise, free agency wise? Does Kelce really affect a lot right now? Let me know. Yeah, Chris Olave, yes, are always open. Lad has that game for sure. Yeah, I think would be. I just feel like wide receivers. I mean, really, like, what free agent receiver do we really want? I don't even know if I even like anybody. I mean, Tyler Boyd, Hollywood Brown, Calvin Ridley's Calvin Ridley had over 1,000 yards, and he's gonna be a free agent, and he's out of the price range. Go keep a guy in the building for 4 to 5 years, especially pair him up with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and then have that guy become the other number one receiver next to Devontae Smith for the future, man. It makes too much sense. It's a waste to go out and sign a free agent that's like mid-tier skill level. I think this is going to be one of the most biggest sleepers when it comes to the receiving class that I've ever seen in a while. 100%. Who says Jurgens won't make it through the season without getting hurt? And that's another problem, man. That's another problem. Thomas says, why are we letting DeAndre Swift go? Doesn't make no sense. It makes me worry that Swift is actually testing free agency. He's testing the market. The news came out yesterday that Swift is testing the market. That doesn't look good for us. The Eagles have cap. It all comes down to like, what do these, if Swift is trying to get over $10 million, if they're just going to go through this, if these running backs are just going to go through this stage of trying to get over $10 million, it's not going to happen. The market is not going to be strong. Okay. And I think we lose them. It's unfortunate. It sucks. Maybe get Gibson from Washington. I honestly don't know. I think they need a power back, and I think they need a dual threat type, pass catcher. So we'll see. A late pick like the draft is the wide receiver Gould. This 10-yard split was 100th of a second different than Xavier. What's going on, Ryan? Hugo says, because our ownership does not give a shit about running backs makes no sense. Well, dude, it doesn't. Things have to change, dude. So you don't sign you. So you're. I mean, you gotta. You can't go after a running back every fucking year. You can't. I don't want to. Here's the two things I don't want to happen. I can't stand that the Eagles keep doing this. I can't stand trading for running backs or trading for anybody and barely even using them or barely having them long term. Okay. You get Swift in here for a long term. I mean, you need somebody in the building, but they don't draft running backs high. So you got to pick your poison with that. I don't want to trade for Justin Simmons. I don't want to trade for a 30-year-old safety. It makes no sense. Makes no sense. You're just making a lateral move. Like, I'm tired of not having a safety that's here for years. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson should be highest priority when it comes to this offseason. And it's sounding like it kind of is. There's already the news reports are coming out from Tony Pauline that Chauncey might be setting a sight, to return. Now he's coming off of of an injury that he was gone for almost a whole year. Almost, he made the playoffs, but this shit. What is it? $28 million, a hard number to tackle. Yeah. Chris says we can't cut Slay. No, Slay's not going to get cut. It's not going to happen. Anyway, I'll read the numbers, but that's as far as it's going. Freddie Illimus says, I think Bradbury will have a bounce back year. Hey, look, I respect your opinion. I think mentally he's just done. I think the Super Bowl messed him up. I think that whole entire thing on that last play with the penalty, I think that messed him up entirely mentally. I don't think he's been the same. I think his coverage has been a lot worse. Yes, the defense has been bad, but I've seen better coverage from Slay this year than I have from Bradbury all year, unfortunately. I think it's a mental thing. And once you have a mental thing, I feel like some of these players just can't get out of it. And to be honest with you, do I think Bradbury is athletically fit the system well? Because if you're playing off ball so much this year in Vic Fangio's 3-4 scheme, you got to have guys that can run all over the field and make tackles. It's not really the tackling aspect, which it should be. It is. But I'm just talking about from an athletic standpoint, Can he run east and west? Can he make open field tackles? There's a whole bunch that that gets involved with it. But Chris says, I don't think we will use a first on an offensive tackle, but you can't put it past Howie. No, but in 21 he tried doing that shit. Heavy defensive draft in 2021, and he goes and he drafts the total opposite position or the opposite side of the ball. And Andre Dillard in that draft. Heavy defensive draft. I want one of those Clemson defensive linemen. Christian Wilkins was my pick that year. And it just didn't happen. Ron said, I think Steen can play, but now with Kelce gone, going to have to rely on a young Steen or Opeta at guard. Yeah, Opeta's a free agent right now. Opeta's not even signed. Opeta's not even signed at all. So that's the problem. You don't even have depth. You have an empty spot at right guard, and I don't know if Tyler Steen is going to be ready. He's way too raw right now. You have no backup left tackle. You have no backup left guard. You have no backup center. You have no backup right. I mean, you have no depth. I mean, you're pretty empty as of right now. Lennon says, these cover corners just look bad because we are in zone. We need to address this as our personal because it won't get better. We need zone corners. Yeah. And that's why, look, if they end up getting one of those corners, in the first round, whether it's McKinstry, I know he's got the Jones injury in his pinky toe. He broke his pinky toe, whatever, so he barely tested. Terrion Arnold, Nate Wiggins. If you want one of those guys, okay, and I've said this to Philly 500 and the Philly Shakedown. I said, why draft one of those corners in the first round? Why draft one of those guys why are you drafting a corner in the top 10? You're drafting a corner in the top 10. You're drafting a corner in the first round period is because of their man coverage. If we're not playing any man coverage and you're literally drafting a corner into a weakness at this point, does it make sense to put all that money into a guy that's not playing press? That's if you want to go get Kitchens, If you want to go get Ennis Rakestraw Jr. from Missouri, those are more. I mean, at least with Ennis Rakestraw, he didn't, you know, his 40 was like 4.5, 4.6. It wasn't great, but you know, the 4-yard dash it's just entertainment and draft stock. But you need to get the best zone guy. So we'll see how it goes. Let me know what you guys think the Eagles will do in the first round with the Jason Kelce news. Do you think it changes? Do you think it doesn't change? What do you think the Eagles do in free agent? What's the #1 move the Eagles should make in free agency? Let me know. Let me know. In the live chat. We have 270 in the chat right now. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the stream. We're going to be doing these streams every single day, late morning. The Eagles Road to Free Agency streams every day. Talk draft, talk whatever we want. A lot of talk about today. We'll have videos out every day. Check out the pinned comment above. We're starting the draft highlight reactions today. So as little as $2, you can get extra content every day with that. So that's there if you guys want it. So appreciate so much from everybody jumping in today. We got a super chat from Jas Juarez. What's going on, man? So brotherly shove is over now that Kelce is gone. That's definitely true. It's definitely true. I believe it, man. I believe it. That's unfortunate because you would think, you know, I mean, even though Jalen Hurts gets carried into that shit, okay? And he's got that, you know, I think you need a big lower body to get in there, but Kelce is like, Kelce's the one that makes that thing successful. So it says Cam Jurgens is our center, Steen is our guard. So far, that's what it is right now. That's where we're at right now. We'll see how it goes. I don't think this is final, like, at all. I don't think any of this is final. Dogbout says like Javon Bullard as safety, a slot corner. Yeah, he's another one. Yeah, I mean, he's another one that can move around the field. I would love to get more hybrid guys as well. They drafted, I mean, from what it looks like safety-wise for the Eagles, I mean, there's a lot of vets that are available. I feel like you need to get 2 bodies at safety, and I am not into getting a Justin Simmons trade done, okay? I'm not trading for a 30-year-old safety, okay? If you want to get Bullard, get up, you know, unfortunately, Sidney Brown has an ACL and won't be back until October. And it's going to take a while for him to get back to himself on the field. That's a big loss. They put him in a meaningless game. They put Sidney Brown in a meaningless fucking game, and he gets hurt. You know, pissed me off. Pissed me off entirely. Bev with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, Jason Kelce definitely called out Steven Slay. That's fucked up, dude. It's crazy, dude. We talked about it a million times. I get shit for it all the time. Every time I talk about Slay, I get shit for it. I get shit for it every time I talk about it. And I can't. From Slay's comments on he doesn't want it when he was called out for corners not being physical enough, and he came out and said, "I'm not tackling a certain way," and I mean, and then he made a video. Then he was on camera, but right before the playoff game, and he said, "Oh, thank God we're not playing in Philadelphia. I just don't want to get booed." Like, I mean, you're a captain, dude. And then you go on. Two corners. Steven Nelson is what did he do? Seriously. Another shit corner that played for us. Okay? Go on that whole thing and talk about why the Philly fans, they told us to run the ball, and even when we started running the ball and didn't get a yard, they were I mean, these podcasts from players need to stop, because all you're doing is you're just going to get kicked out. The fan base is going to turn you use the social media to your advantage, you're going to lose the fan base easy before game day even fucking happens. So that's all I got to say about that. So it says Jurgens is 100% center for this year. It's been Steen. That's the question. Steen's way too raw right now. Steen needs a lot more time. Steen doesn't have enough time. It's not that Steen is bad. It's just Steen hasn't had much time. You know, Jurgens had the jump on a lot of guys because he pretty much already had playing time. You know what I mean? He went through a couple off seasons than, you know, Tyler Steen already. Tyler Steen just looks a little raw right now. That's all. Henry should be winning from a top 5 to a top. No, I wouldn't say, dude. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. I don't think that's the case. There is a hole now, sure, but you know, Cam has played center. He plays center with second team, and he did it last offseason as well. Not this past, last offseason. You know, I don't think it's as big as everyone's gonna think it's going to be. This isn't a surprise to Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman knew that Jason was retiring this whole entire time, probably for weeks, but there is a plan in motion here, what the Eagles are going to do. And I don't know if they might sign a mid-tier free agent plug-in type player for a couple years. Or they might go I don't in a Super Bowl open window right now. I don't think you're gonna go out in the draft, and unless it's the first round, you're not gonna go out in the draft and go get a guy in the mid rounds to fill in for right guard while Tyler Steen is still getting the hang of things. Okay, I don't think that's gonna be the case, but I think you sign a plug-in guy and take it from there. You know, that's where you go. The GOAT 2408 says, so Jurgen slides over to center and we draft OG early. Jurgen stays at OG and we draft a corner early, or Jurgen slides to center and Tyler Steen at OG. Yeah, I mean, I think Jurgens is going to be the center. I don't think they're keeping him at right guard. If the Eagles feel that Jurgens is just going to play so much better at right guard, he's already there, and it's really up to them. It's really up to them. So we'll find out what happens with switch or root. You know, this switch that they're going to make. They drafted Jurgens to be the next center, but the problem is they did that with Landon Dickerson, and they played left guard so well. You know, you don't want to move though. That left side needs to stay where it is. Okay, left side needs to stay where it is. Jackson Powers Johnson just tweeted at Kelce, dude. Eagles talked to Bullard twice. They want him, especially if I need to check him out more, because if he's more of a hybrid guy that can move around, I mean, that's I love a safety that has corner background and a corner that has safety background. I like guys that can move around. I feel like with Sidney Brown, we have that, which is great. So I'm pretty excited. Let me know if the music's too loud. I know I have music on right now. Let me know if it is too loud, too low, or it's just good enough. DB Talk announced, I don't think losing Kelce affects the draft plans. I think they still grab an O-line to replace Lane in the second. Yeah, I mean, it might not affect the draft plans at all. But it's concerning because, like, then they have to put all their eggs in one basket for Tyler Steen this offseason, if that's going to be the case. And I don't know if, like, he only played a couple games last year. He filled in a couple times, and, you know, it was his first, he was a rookie last year. So you're hoping he looks better, can get a little better. So, or is it Slay tried to prove this point on the last tackle of the game, Academy Award? Matt says, sign John Runyon Jr., draft Trotter Jr., and trade for Samuel Jr. Have all the OG's kids play for the franchise. Yeah. Asante Samuel Jr. has one more year left on his contract. I wonder if they have a lot of interest as of right now, you know, to trade for a cornerback. Asante Samuel Jr. has one more year left. It would be really interesting. Like, I would love that, but I know it's kind of crazy. Yeah, Jonas Espinal says this. Nick Gates, offensive line, got released from Washington last week. He's 20 years old. Could be a good pick for the Bird. Wait, is Nick Gates a center? Is he a center though? I think. I know because Washington's been releasing players like they've been giving out candy to the We got Jazz Suarez. Thank you so much for the super chat. He says, I want to see what Isaiah Rodgers will do at cornerback. Yeah, I think he's one of the most exciting ones. I think when it comes to corner for depth and for like competition this offseason, I think we have perfect depth right now. I think Eli Ricks flashed. Get another offseason from him. Keely Ringo. And just him, dude, here's the plan. Okay. The plan is you're going to draft a corner in the first round if that's what you do. Okay, you draft your number one zone guy, your number one man, whatever they do with cornerback. You draft your guy, you pair him up with Slay for the year, you cut Bradbury, you minimize the dead money for the next few years, you eat it up easily. Okay, once Slay leaves after this year, I think there's a possibility that Keely Ringo moves to that number 2 spot on the. We'll see. Isaiah Rodgers should play inside. I think Maddox is going to get post-June cut, $7.1 million. They're not restructuring him. He's a $10 million cap hit this year. The Eagles are not keeping him at that number, and he's been injured way too much. Huge liability for this team. So, I appreciate super chat, Jazz. Mayor, I would do this in a heartbeat. There's no doubt about it. I would do this. I would do this and like it wouldn't bother me at all if they did that. He's one more year. So Asante Samuel Jr. has one more year left, okay? He has one more year left and he's cheap. He's really cheap. Just depends if they want to hold on to him. That's really the only concern I have as of right now. Sorry, I was looking at something. That's really the only concern that I have. What the fuck is going on with this? The only concern I have right now is really when you see corner. Let's see here. Matt says Samuel in the last year of his deal sounds like a total Howie. Yeah, right, dude. You think I would? No, dude. There's no fucking way. They need that. They have to. We need a young talent drafted to Philadelphia. You don't want to grab a guy like that. That's talk shit about this team. That's. Maurice Steele with the super chat says, "Did you get my chat earlier?" I don't think I did. I don't remember. I don't think so. I don't think anything went through. If you're talking about a super chat, I didn't get it. How we scam the league says 8 to 10 million isn't realistic. What do you mean? 8 to 10 million for what? For running backs? It says 1 JPJ, 2 Lassiter, 3 Bullard, 4 Cedric Gray, sign Queen, and draft another tackle in the mid rounds. That's not horrible. That's not horrible at all. I would, you know what? If they go say, I mean, I feel like they're, as of right now, I feel like they're going after a free agent safety. That the news has come out that they've been very strong in the market for veterans in the safety market. So we'll see what happens. It's not going to be Patrick Queen though. I just don't feel it. It's going to be Van Ginkel, Donnie says. I think Van Ginkel is already a Philadelphia Eagle. Okay, he's 29. He's here for a couple years. I still think they should draft another guy, no doubt. They should hit this position 3 times. They should sign a prove-it contract. They should sign a guy to big money, which I don't think Van Ginkel's going to get crazy money, but he had, 53 quarterback pressures, 6 sacks for Miami last year. And Vic Fangio was the defensive coordinator. So I think it's a win-win for him to sign with the Eagles. And they know how to use him. They like attacking with him as well. More downhill. Times I'm worried about pigeonholing ourselves by drafting a guy, especially for defensive scheme. If you draft best player available at position, defensive scheme doesn't matter. They could do it all. Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, like, if Latu, whatever was there from UCLA, I'd get him in a heartbeat. I don't know if we're going to be able to get an edge rusher at fucking 22. I don't know if we get an edge rusher at 22. I don't know if they're all the top guys I think are gonna be gone by that time. So I got a huge feeling he's coming here too. I think he's already an Eagle, to be honest. I think he's already a Philadelphia Eagle. IDF says, Natalia says, I think Howie could move up in the second round draft. Yeah, I mean, Edgar and Cooper would be interesting too. You know what I mean? Like, what is he like? 6'3", 235, 240? I thought he was like 235, maybe 6'2", 6'3". I forgot what he was. But I mean, he's a big scheme fit too. I think he'd be great. But you have 4 5th-round picks. You have 4 5th-rounders, 2 2nd-rounders. Eagle Season says, would you possibly want Jalen Mills? I think he was released from the Pats and he would reunite and have a Green Goblin again. No. Would never bring him back. Ever. With this draft in front of you, I don't know if I have any... If L'Jarius Sneed was a cheaper option, he would be my number 1 guy in free agency right now. Even Jalen Johnson, I'm actually kind of interested to see who gets paid more. I don't know who gets paid more. I'd be interested to see who does. Dog Advice, what's going on, man? God Dog Advice, sorry. The Dream Mock, pick 15. The Eagles trade up. Tight end Brock Bowers. Pick 50. Jackson Powers Johnson. Pick 53. Lad McConkey. 3rd round linebacker Jeremiah Trotter. 4th round. Eagles swap 2 fits to move into the 4th. So you get a tight end with the 1st rounder, huh? I don't know if they'd have interest. And that's it. Look, I respect it. I respect any mock draft that anybody comes to me with. Pause. But I think, look, you re-sign Albert O because I think Kellen Moore thinks there's something with him. You trade for Albert O and barely used him. Dallas Goedert gets hurt and they dismissed the tight end position last year. I mean, you can't ignore a position because your starter's hurt. That's just really bad coaching. That's just bad. I mean, you're not getting the best out of your players at that point. You don't know who your number 2 guy is. I mean, Jack Stahl is a free agent. You lose Jack Stahl. You have Albert O back. Calcaterra is an injury-prone mess right now. He won't even last a whole season. But hey, I mean, that would be kind of nuts. We all know Kellen Moore likes to use tight ends a lot. That probably goes into why you'd pick Brock Bowers as the number 1 pick. So I get it, you know. Guys says cut Bradbury and start our young corners. Yeah, but not even just cut Bradbury, but draft young guys. Draft young guys. Make your defense younger and go out and spend some money for your offense. Put 30 plus points on the board. Like if the Eagles didn't have the money that they had this year, I'd put more. I'd stack more. Obviously, you get to stack more into the defense, but you got some money now and you have draft capital. I mean, you're in a perfect world right now. The Eagles only made 1 move with Kevin Byard and they already have $44.5 million right now. Another move with HaasonReddick extension would be $11 million. Post-June cut for Avonte Maddox, 7.1, $60 million in cap space. When do the Eagles ever have that? You know what I mean? I think you can get a plug-in player. I think you can get a plug-in player at guard that's not a high-price free agent guard, but someone that's going to produce, and that's fine. You could get a plug-in guy that that plays really well at guard. You don't need a high-priced free agent right guard if that's where they want to go with Jurgens at center. Go get your running back in free agency, because I think it's better than what's out in the draft right now, unless you're getting a guy for rotation and on day 3. Go get a safety. Go get a linebacker. I mean, there's plenty out there. Our main Larimore says first round draft, Lab McConkey slot receiver. He fits the offense really well. Yeah, I don't think he's a first round pick though. I don't think he goes that early. He had a good combine, but I don't think he goes that early. I think he'll be a top second rounder. If he moves to the first, I'll be kind of surprised. Is he the first receiver that goes? Probably not. I mean, it'd probably be Xavier Worthy, probably Adonis Mitchell, who's the Neighbors, probably another one that's going to go pretty early, probably top 17. I mean, he'll probably go a little early. We'll see. So here, Mike said, I'm surprised Maddox is still here. Well, yeah, Maddox is still here right now. I mean, we just started the you know, our whole process of freeing up some cap space. Maddox is going to be a post-June cut. That's where you're going to save $7.1 million with him. So. Hold on. This is taking a tight end for a coach. Like, he'll be here. He'll do well this year. See here. Hebrew Hammer says we need cornerback, defensive end, linebacker, safety. Yeah, pretty much. pretty much. I mean, that's where your main focal points are. Lee Green, would you bring back Maddox back on a 1-year cheap deal? No. Dude, I can't trust him. McPherson, you got 2 nickel corners right now that already got hurt to season-ending injuries. I mean, Maddox came back, but he barely. I mean, what was I expecting Maddox to do when he came back? Zach McPherson's another one that had an ACL, and he was supposed to be the backup guy. So it's too much of a liability right now. That's why you have to put competition in front of Nakobe Dean. He's a huge liability. Unfortunately, can't trust him to stay healthy. Hope he turns it around. You just have to. That's what you have to do. I wouldn't extend him. I wouldn't waste another dime on Maddox. That's just me. I think he's one of the most underrated players when healthy, but man, guy can't stay healthy. We got super chat. Mr. Rudy Poo says, can we stop this Chauncey Johnson love affair? This guy literally slandered the whole fan base out the door. He don't like Philly fucking. You know why he slandered the whole fan base? Because he was attacked by Philly fans. That's the only reason why he slandered the Eagle fans. That's the only reason why. He didn't start the shit. He got attacked by fans and he started his shit. That's the difference, dude. Because unfortunately, can we be a little toxic? Yeah. I mean, we're a little toxic, no doubt. But it's not a love affair. I just think it's a leadership standpoint. I think it's a play standpoint. I don't think he's the best at open field tackles at times, but the man's a playmaker. The guy shouldn't have left. He's a hybrid player. Could play corner and safety. You know, we'll see what happens. I don't mind the move. Is it the move? I don't know, but I wouldn't mind the move. We'll see. I don't have anything. I don't have anything against people that say that he's a clown or anything like that. I mean, if that's what people think, then that's fine. You know. Appreciate the super, by the way. But it says Cooper DeJean should fix that problem. Yeah, I don't. Apparently there's a rumor that 4 offensive linemen and a 5th guy, and that's Cooper DeJean is DeGene. I always say his name wrong. Is on an official visit for the Eagles. So I don't know. I mean, the guy hasn't tested. Hopefully we'll get a pro day from him. See how he goes. Yeah, Mario Goodrich got paid the most money as an undrafted free agent. The Eagles saw something in him, but yeah, it didn't really work out. Let's see. Matt Levinson says, I'm confused. Who talking bad about who? Are you saying Samuel Jr. talked bad about the team? They've been interested since the draft. How usually. No, not Samuel Jr. We're talking about Debo Sam. Are we talking about Debo Samuel? Or are we talking about, did someone say Debo Samuel or Asante Samuel Jr.? Because I got confused for I don't know if somebody said Debo. I thought someone said Debo, but I could be wrong. Oh yeah. I keep forgetting Marvin Harrison. I keep forgetting Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah. I mean, I think the Eagles can get their hands on one of these receivers. I honestly do. I think McKinstry will drop. Perron Arnold might drop a little bit. I don't know. But you have the assets to move back to the first round if you have to. I think you have the assets to do it. I mean, literally, like, wide receiver 3 can't be just assigning a, look, I mean, I don't think Olamide, Zacchaeus had a chance, really. I just feel like he wasn't given much opportunity at times. Quez Watkins has been giving chance after chance. Just can't pull out, can't rely on him. They need a talent at that. They need a future number 1 to Devontae Smith, and they need a talent for this year at wide receiver 3. They can, I think that's going to be a building point. But we'll see. Bruce said, we need to double down on the load up on defense. Let's go Howie and get Cooper DeJean in the damn draft. A lot of people are taking Cooper DeJean over all these corners. Mike said, I would take Chauncey back in a heartbeat. I clap back against the moron fan. Bruce said, Philly fans make Philly players not want to play for them. It's kind of true. Social media is as much as I won't get political, but social media is a joke, dude. Unfortunately, that's how you get into the minds of people. Talking about someone paid $5 CJ on his podcast to ask him what he liked and disliked about Philly. His response, likes the weather, dislikes Eagle fans. Yeah, I remember. He was playing GTA, I think. I'm going by that's the thing. Like, I'm going by what the reports say. I'm not going by, like, yeah, I'm gonna give my own opinion. I'm not just gonna state what happened throughout the day, but I'm gonna give my opinion. And that was the report that came out from Tony Pauline, that the Eagles are aiming for a Chauncey Gardner-Johnson return. I don't know if, like, the relationship between Howie and I think the contract thing got messed up, and I think Chauncey waited out. He wanted to get paid as a safety. Teams were looking at him more as a corner than a safety, and they wouldn't give him the money that he wanted. The safety market went down after, I think, Jesse Bates. I forgot who got signed a big contract. I think it was Jesse Bates that signed that big deal. Then after that, the market just fell down after that. Jesse Bates signed with the Falcons, I think, and then I think that was it. The market kind of went down after that. Safeties were barely even getting paid big money after that. So my email says, definitely worried about Jason being gone and us at center. Yeah, I agree, dude. So they have 2 choices. They have 2 choices, really. 3 choices, really. They either keep Cam Jurgens at right guard, draft a center, get a free agent center. Or you move Jurgens to center and get a free agent guard, or draft a guard. I think they get a plug-in player for guard. I think they go into the free agency market. I don't think they spend top dollar on a guard, but I think they get a guy that necessarily probably hasn't had a fantastic career, but has been a pretty good plug-in type guy that will do just enough at right guard. And that's good. That's not a bad thing, because, if you have good players around that player will play better. They need to get a mid-tier type guy at that position. So I think there is a plan behind it. Matt said, I meant Asante Samuel. All right. No, that's fine then. If it's Asante Samuel Jr., trust me, if they trade for Asante Samuel Jr., boom, I'd be fine with that. You know, I'd be perfectly fine. I wanted him in the second round. You know, don't get me wrong. You know, because it was when we drafted Landon Dickerson, it was like, man, he was coming off of 2 knee injuries, an ACL. I was like, damn, dude, like, is this guy gonna pan out? But he's played really well. When it comes to offensive line, we have Jeff Stoutland, so I think we could breathe a little bit. I think we could breathe just a little bit and you know, not go crazy, you know. Yeah. Jesse, I forgot what it was. If it was 18, then great. You know, he got paid. I know that Jesse Bates got paid, and then the other safeties barely even got paid close to that. Ryan says, give me McConkey. His route running is elite on the field. Awareness is also top tier. I can see why you're so high on him. Yeah, well, Mayor Slim, that's in the chat and a big follower on Twitter as well, a big supporter of the channel as well. He got me into Ladd McConkey from Georgia, and I didn't want people thinking I was just going after Ladd McConkey because he was a Georgia Bulldog. It was because, damn, that guy breaks ankles, dude. It's no joke. Get Ladd McConkey in open space. It's like, that's what you kind of want Britton Covey to turn into, which I actually really liked how they used Britton Covey in the offense a little bit at the end of the year. You know, like, Britton Covey should definitely be a bigger part of this offense, no doubt, especially like as a gadget type wide receiver on third down or something like that. I think would work out really well. But if they draft a guy like this, man, I mean, I'm not saying he's Tyreek Hill-esque, but shit, dude, like, he's like the lesser Tyreek Hill, but has got a ton of fucking ceiling. Like, a ton, dude. It's great, you know? Thomas said, if we're going to prepare to set up our wide receiver room to pair with Smitty for when AJ leaves, then I'd like the idea of getting a big body receiver and getting another undersized. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I won't say you're going to draft 2 of them, but I say you have to draft one as your wide receiver 3 this year. The Eagles are in full contention right now to get one of those guys. I mean, 100%. Rhea says, Rosen is probably going to draft an okay in the first round, then go defense on the second and third round. Yeah, I mean, you want to draft best player available in the first round, right? That's what you want to do. Here's the thing. Because they're going to get linebackers in free agency, if you're at 22 right now, let's just say they don't even move up. Say they're at 22, and say like a receiver, say all the defensive ends, the edge rushers are gone. I think 4? I think they're going to be gone at 20. I don't think anyone's sliding down. I think all the top edge rushers are going to be gone. Okay. Are you going linebacker? No, because I think that's already going to be addressed. Are you going to go safety? No, because I think that's already going to be addressed, and they could draft the safety later on. I think receiver might be that one. And I think some of these corners aren't going to go as high as everyone thinks they're going to go. Okay. I think McKinstry might fall a little bit. I think Teron Arnold might fall. Nate Wiggins, we'll see where he goes. I think 1 will be drafted top 1 to 2 will be drafted top 15. We'll see how it goes. You know, there's a lot of different things. It's exciting, dude, because I think the number one thing that we don't really know right now is, like, it's a huge question mark. Like, I have no idea what direction they're going. Like, I have no direction on where they're going in this at all. Yeah, Ladd ran a fast 40. This was surprising. Well, yeah, he ran of, what was it? I forgot, what was it? It was a 4.4 something. And it was like a 4.39. So his second one, he actually ran faster. You know, the 40 is great. You know, it's nice to see the 40 and stuff, and it's awesome to see. But like I said, like, it's just testing. It's draft stock. You know, it's entertaining to see that these guys could. I mean, I'm just sorry, but these receivers, man, these boys can move. And not, I mean, the drill that I like the most with the receivers, the drill that I like the most is that agility drill where they kind of run the routes a little bit. When they run the routes, quarterbacks are throwing the ball to them. And then the other ones where they're catching the balls nonstop. I forgot what they're specifically called. But man, I mean, Ladd is really smooth. I mean, really smooth, dude. He's a good receiver. Christian Vance, what's going on, man? It says, I'll never forgive Sirianni for wasting Kelce's last year. I think the only thing I'm pissed off about is we didn't win a Super Bowl in 22. To give him one more ring before you left. I think that's what pisses me off the most. Jonas says, I would welcome Sack, Schwartzberg, Johnson. Yes, Nick Gates is a center. Okay. Oh, so I wasn't wrong. Yeah, we'll see what they do. We'll see what they do. Ryan says, AJ ain't leaving. He's staying. He's our best wideout, period. I don't think AJ is going to be here for the rest of his career. You're not paying two wide receivers over $20 million. It's not going to happen. Okay. It's not going to happen. So you sign one of these receivers in the first round to be that wide receiver 3, to pair up. You can't waste this year. Don't be cautious with your money this year. I swear to God, dude, $60 million. Don't be picky with what you're doing. Don't be cautious. Like, you got to go all in with this offense. You have to. Like, we need to get younger on defense, be productive in this 3-4 scheme with Vic Fangio, and you need to put 30+ points on the board every game with this fucking offense. Do not put a lesser talent at wide receiver 3, a Tyler Boyd, a Hollywood Brown that's been don't waste your time with that. Go in the draft and get a homegrown talent that's here for 4 to 5 years. Then you don't got to worry about it. So AJ Brown's here for what? 2 years, 2 seasons. And then that's really it. This year, next year, he's a free agent after that. Okay? Got to take advantage of it, man. Don't fucking go don't go the safe route. Eagle Season says, a wide receiver like that with Keon Coleman, he is tall, he's good hands, just needs to get a little more space creation. Yeah, and Keon Coleman is another good one because I feel like with him, he's like more of a 50-50 ball guy, which I really do like. But yeah, I mean, I think there are better guys out there, but I do like him too. One piece is, what's going on, Joey? Right guard. I want Tyler. Yeah, Tyler Zelter was another guy that was rumored to the Eagles early, maybe 3-4 weeks ago. Could be another move for the Philadelphia Eagles at right guard. So we'll see what happens. It really comes down to money now. So now, since Kelce's leaving, do you want to get a top tier guy at right guard? Do you want to get a nice plug-in guy that is pretty productive, that's playing one position, productive? I don't think they go the high route. I don't know how much money he's going to make, but we'll see. Mike Rex says, we could move up for a DT Cox replacement to put with Carter. I don't think we can really count on Jordan Davis. Well, yeah, Jordan Davis, I think this is the year we need to see if Jordan Davis is going to be in shape, because I thought we saw a pass rush from him last year. I thought he did it. I thought he went beyond expectation this past season and then kind of fell off. But the whole defensive line fell off. I don't know if they spend a first round talent at DT again. I don't think they do. I mean, that's just a lot. As a rotation, as a rotational guy, I don't know if you're gonna dip into the first round again and go get another DT. I don't think you're doing it. I think Milton Williams is going to have a big role. I think Moro Ojomo showed some good things at the end of last year. Jordan Davis has to really show it. But I have to blame the scheme, and I have to blame the coaches too. Because if you're not running stunts and you're not freeing up guys, you're not making it easy for the defensive line, which you're not. I think Josh Sweat fell off. Reddick fell off. Even Reddick had a great year, still fell off. I think all of them did. But Jordan Davis, I think this is the year where he needs to get shit right, because this is important, really important. Which he said, let's draft Cedric Van Pranz, center from Georgia. Interesting. Richard Poo says, the only thing, Joey, Ladd was not good against press coverage in college. Hopefully he improves. Yeah, well, that's why you have pre-snap motion. That's why you have all this stuff that Kellen Moore is going to do to get these guys. See, if Ladd is in pre-snap motion and you use him in space, already kind of in pre-snap motion, stuff like that, I feel like they take advantage of his speed a lot more in different scenarios with the offense. We'll see what happens, but he's a player, though, no doubt. Ron said, if we draft no DT with the first round pick, I'll be pissed, to be honest. We need to go corner or linebacker with the first pick. You need an edge rusher more than a DT. Jalen Carter, I'm not even worried about him. Okay. Jordan Davis has got to pick up the pieces a little bit and get back into some shape. But Brandon Graham's going to come back. Why? I mean, yeah, one more year, you know, kind of go out the way he wants to go out. Not a huge, you know, I don't know. Like, I don't want to emotionally bring people back just because. As a rotational guy for Brandon Graham, probably will play better. We'll see. Josh Sweat's on the last year of his deal. And if you extend HaasonReddick, Josh Sweat is not going to get paid either. So you extend Reddick, Josh Sweat's on the last year, and you need someone for the future, not just for this year. So edge rusher is a huge need right now. I don't think, you know, and you have to draft one. I don't know. I mean, Chase Young would be perfect as a rotational guy. If you're going to go for someone, and he's averaged to get, what, 12, 13 million, which I think is a huge bargain. I think it's fine. I think it's a good price for Chase Young. Get Chase Young in a rotation. If you feel like you're not going to get the best pass rusher, at least edge rusher in the draft, I think getting Chase Young would be a great fit. So, we'll see. Mike says, Ronnie, I hear you, but do you see the Eagles actually draft a linebacker? Yeah, that's the reason too. Like, I feel like they're gonna get linebacker done in free agency. That's just me. Jason said, I think we get Zach Zinter in the second round. He's top 20 talent guard. He's injured. He was the best lineman on the Michigan team. Be another interesting one. Zach Zinter. I want to check him out. I want to check out. I have to go into a lot of guards now because I have no choice. You know. Tommy says the best drill to evaluate a player is the cone drill. Shows off fluidity and speed. Oh yeah, cone drill is great. Great. Jonas says, I think Jason will have a role in the Eagles organization. What do you think? Oh, 100%. I don't think he's not. I think he's going to be with the Eagles this year with Jeff Stoutland and doing some things. I don't think he's ever going to be away from this. No, we didn't rotate the D-line either. That hurt. There was like the end of the season that Jalen Carter only had like 21 snaps in a game, dude. Like the last game of the season, Josh Sweat had a sack against the Giants. He didn't get a sack before that until fucking week 9. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, as much as we're going to shit on Jordan Davis and shit on the defensive line, look at how they're fucking used, dude. We don't have the athletic ability. I mean, defensive line-wise, we have it, you know, adding more pieces to it, but between linebackers to corners, how they were used, you don't have the athletic ability. Enrique Garcia says, Joey, if we don't resign Swift or address a running back in free agency, they will draft one in the middle rounds. I don't think you're going to get your answer in the middle rounds. Can you get like a steal in the mid rounds, a day 3 pick that's going to be more of a, you know, do they sign a power back now? Maybe like they sign Derrick Henry, or they go sign what's his face from Green Bay. If they want to sign a power back, that's fine, but they need to kind of complement it, and Gainwell's not going to be it. Okay. If they go into like the mid rounds to go get like you know, a dual threat back, I don't see why that would be bad, you know. But yeah, I would not be surprised to get Christian Wilkins. Yeah, Christian Wilkins apparently is going to be a free agent, and he really likes Fangio. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, that's a lot of. I mean, I don't know how much money he's going to command, but it's going to come down to money and how much the Eagles want to put into that position. Yes, 1HP says AJ Dillon. Sorry, yeah, AJ Dillon from Green Bay is another one. Running back wise. Yeah, it's probably not going to happen. I wasn't even going to make a video on that. Obviously, Keelan Coleman's potential to be the next Mike Evans. He's big body receiver with strong hands that can catch 50-50 balls. Yeah, that's where I feel like that's his strong suit. Could he be? The main issue right now is who can you draft can Keon Coleman be a wide receiver 3 right now and can be your other number 1 guy going forward? Because I'm sorry, but we need someone dominant. Is he dominant enough for the future? Not just this year, but is he dominant to go into that number 2 role? Or another number 1 role with Devontae Smith? Ryan said, would you give the Jags 2 of our second-round picks for Josh Allen? I'm going to say this right now. If Josh Allen is actually available, man, that would be amazing. Haven't heard nothing on it yet. Haven't heard anything about him being moved or nothing, but Josh Allen, if he's available, I'd do it on. I don't know, 2 second-round picks. I don't know if they'll spend that. It might not. It might cost a little bit more than that. You know, I don't know. 2 second round, maybe a second, a couple mid rounds, but we'll see. Tom said, but Donnie Mitchell will be my number 1 draft, hands down. Yeah, Donnie Mitchell. I mean, I'd pick a Donnie Mitchell. Of the big receivers, he'll be the number 1 guy. Sam Trek says, Joey, with Jason officially retiring, what's your future for center or guard since Jurgens is moving to center? Either they draft a guy that plugs it. They sign a guy that's a plug-in player in free agency. That's not the high-price free agent, but a guy that plugs in really well and plays well for a couple of years. Or they go after, go in the draft and get someone high. Or they pay a guy, one of the top guards, big money, which I just don't see it happening. So there's a bunch of different, combinations they could go going forward. Lost my spot. Marislip says Joey Bryce Huff better than Chase Young, bro. He has 10 sacks, rotational guy. He's not even a starter and has been productive. It's given the Hargrave signing. Hey, dude, that'd be, look, if they want to go rotation in the draft, that's, and that they feel like he's promising. I haven't really checked him out too much, but if he's promising, then great. They need a guy that's going to be productive. I don't want to waste our time drafting a rotational guy high and then he doesn't do much of anything. And I hope he does. Christian Vince says, I respect your opinion, Joey, but I feel like at least with the 22 season, we made it to the Super Bowl and exceeded expectations. This year, we had so much potential and the coaching threw it all away. Well, that's true. That's true, dude. Coaching, you have 2 1,000-yard receivers and a 1,000-yard running back, and you still look like the way you did. It's not great. You weren't dominating you haven't dominated one game this past season. You didn't dominate one game at all. And your coaches got worse. It didn't get better. And Sirianni's involvement was a huge, huge downfall to this team, which I just don't respect him as a head coach for the way he handled this team last year, especially the last 7 fucking games. HP said, I feel you, Joey. That Super Bowl loss still hurts, but I'm glad they all got a ring into the new era as long as Stalin is coach. I'm confident. Yeah, Stalin is here, so that's the man that's going to fix everything. Okay, it's the man that's going to fix everything. Brown Riser, what's going on, dude? He says it's still fuck the Eagles, but felt some type of way after watching that Kelce retirement. Dude, I felt the same way, okay? F the Cowboys, but I felt the same way when Dak broke his ankle that game. Like, I felt really bad for him. I have a soft spot for players too, man. Like, I don't want to see guys get hurt. I don't want to see guys, when I see guys retire, it sucks, and that was really fucking hard to watch. That was really, really hard to watch. You don't want to see guys get hurt. You don't want to, to see guys retire that have, I already knew he was going to cry a million times. That's the worst it could have been, to watch and deal with that, sucks, dude. But, guys have to retire, man. They got to be there for their families. Mark Creed said, we can address defense and free agency, go take advantage of this wide receiver class and give Kellen Moore all evidence he needs. He used to run 5 wide receivers, says no way we can do that right now. No. But I promise you that Kellen Moore is going to get the best out of your offense. Kellen Moore doesn't ignore any position. That's the greatest thing about it. Like, he doesn't ignore anything. Okay. I think he's going to run a lot more than as I don't care what the run pass ratio looks like. He's going to run a lot more than we did this past fucking year. Okay. And you're going to get every strand of skill out of your quarterback. He's going to push your quarterback. He's going to push every receiver. He loves getting his tight ends involved. He's top 10 in pre-snap motion. I mean, it's creativity. It's a new mind. He's one of the most upcoming guys. A lot of what he took from Boise State in college is where he gets most of his offensive. He doesn't really take from a coach. He takes from what he did in college or what he was reprimanded in when he was playing at Boise State. So there's a lot of. I wasn't a big hater of the Kellen Moore signing. Kellen Moore has been trying to be a coach here for the last 4 fucking years. Okay, 21. He actually. At 21, before Nick got hired, he came in as an interview for the head coaching job too. You know? Kind of crazy. Well, we have 218 in the chat as of right now, guys. The start of our Road to Eagles, Road to Free Agency streams. We're going to be doing these streams every single day, late morning around 11 to 1 o'clock around these times. We're going to have the draft highlight reaction starting today. Become a member up in the pinned comment and in the link that I just put in the chat as well. To become a member for the channel as low as $2 a month. You can get some extra content. It's there if you want it. All right there. Just for extra stuff. So got a lot of work to do. Let's see. Mary Slim says AJ getting re-signed. I don't like him. He's very iffy. I go get a running back from the Vikings. He's 25. Alexander Mattison is interesting. Eagles, I know the Eagles tried to trade for him the last couple years. The problem with Alexander Mattison, he's got a fumbling issue. That's like it. Other than that, I think he'd be great as a power back. Because the power back in Philadelphia that is in a rotation right now is not the focal point. You know, like if they signed Derrick Henry, you know, as much as they think that he is, I mean, he ran over what, 11, what do you have, like 1,300 yards, 1,200 yards last year with a really horrible offensive line. I mean, hurt, injuries all over the place. Madison just has a little bit of a fumbling issue. I mean, that's really it, man. Guys, I would honestly go all out on defensive free agency and go a lot of offensive players in the draft. I like Trey Benson. He's a running back going around too easy. Mike said, well, I don't even want to see Gainwell on the field. Louisville running back. He says Keon will be a bust. Love Worthy and Conkey and Malachi. But he said, or we could use another second for draft Trotter Jr. or trade for Lattimore since Saints don't have cap space. Yeah, I heard the Saints are gonna get. You know, I heard Lattimore is. Lattimore is gonna be. How old is Lattimore right now? I actually want to know how old he is. I don't know how old he is. I was like, hey, bro, just came into the live. Not sure if you talked about it, but that kid from Texas, tall guy, would be different in our offense, honestly. Oh, Mitchell from Texas, the big guy. Yeah, he I mean, he runs a 4. What do you run, like a 4? What do you run, a 4.3? I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Crazy. 6'2", 6'3". I mean, goddamn. Mr. Rupu, the super chat. Appreciate it so much, man. He says, one thing that I noticed on Kelce's retirement where were some of the leaders on the team. I don't usually rear into things, but damn. It sucks, dude. It's one of those things right now is if you got to question that, it's a problem. And a lot of guys that are leaders aren't acting like leaders. We know who those people are. I think we know. But, you know, I don't like. We all know who I don't like. You all know. Mayor says he's 27. Oh, Lattimore's 27. That's not bad. Not bad age at all. Make money, not friends. Says Marshawn can't stay healthy. Yeah, that's another issue with him too. He's had some injuries as well. James says, okay, hear me out. Outdraft Sweat defensive tackle and move Carter on the edge and let him dominate. Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, he's gonna be playing. He's not playing nose, obviously, so I think it's gonna work out fine. I think it's gonna work out great. Not a bad idea. Eagle says, does Gibson from Washington have a fumbling problem like Alexander? Yeah, he's had an issue as well. I really like Gibson a lot because he's a receiving back. I mean, just god damn it, just sign DeAndre Swift. God damn it. Why is Swift wanting to test he wants to test free agency as of right now? Damn, dude. Sucks, dude. Hate that, man. I hate like guys like he's gonna test the market. He's gonna test the market and see what he can get, and he's not gonna get what he wants. He's not. Look, you have your first Pro Bowl season, your first 1,000-yard season. Come on, dude. Come back. I know his pass protection ain't great, but how Kellen Moore... I mean, you taking Austin Eckler versus the DeAndre Swift? Come on, dude. It's fucking night and day, dude. Thomas says, people hating on Kellen Moore's time because his job with Chargers. People forget the wide receivers were depleted. Herbert was hurt out of his hands at one point. I mean, they drafted... Didn't you know, Mike Williams was hurt. And their quarterback was hurt. I mean, Keenan Allen was their only weapon, and Austin Eckler. That was it. I mean, look what he has coming into Philadelphia. Look what he did with the Cowboys for 4 years. And a lot of Eagle fans don't like it, and because of where he came from, he was a Dallas Cowboy coach. I get it. He's not the rah-rah type coach, but the guy is an X's and O's type guy. That's what the Eagles need. The Cowboy fans started blaming Scott Linehan, scapegoat. Kellen Moore, scapegoat. Yes, Kellen Moore got a little pass happy into these playoffs and thought that, you know, to this point, nothing has changed with the Dallas Cowboys. It's been the same problem. The same problem is still in the building that they're not going to change. That apparently they're going to pay $60 million to. I don't know. And that's Dak Prescott. There's Root Boost says AJ Hurts, AJ Devonta Slay, Cox were not there. BG was there, but no one else. That's interesting. Maybe they were doing things. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Apparently, like, he went on radio today and said this press conference was scheduled today from this morning or like not long ago. So like it wasn't scheduled like from a week ago. It was scheduled like out of nowhere today. So everybody just was in different spots and couldn't make it. Wouldn't put too much in. What I don't like about Kellen Moore is that is Dak Prescott's best friend. If they're high on him, yeah, I mean, I don't know how far they need to move up, but he could be the first corner taken off the board. Putting Mitchell on like the stats sheet, especially for some of his backpedaling was like the fastest, or I mean, it was crazy. His last 2 reps on the backpedal drills. Man. Crazy. Mark said, we need to sign Swift, but we need a bruiser back. We haven't had one in a while, but draft someone like Braylon Allen or sign A.J. Dillon. Braylon Allen's the only running back I'd honestly go after. Realistically. Unless you're finding another dual threat in the mid-rounds, different story, but I feel like you have a better market right now in running backs. And the Eagles can afford one. They got to grow a pair and just fucking pay one at this point. I mean, seriously. You know? Darius says, how would you feel if the Eagles took Xavier Worthy with their first-round pick? I'd be floored. Our offense is scoring 30-plus points a game. Right now. Not saying they wouldn't before that, but you said you're able to sign Xavier. You able to draft Xavier Worthy. Not only do you have your wide receiver 3, but you have your number 1 of the future next to Devontae Smith as a number 1. That's how fucking crazy it's gonna be. Crazy. Ron said, if Worthy and Quinion Mitchell fall and is in the range for us to move up or stay put, who you taking and why? If it's between Worthy and Quinion Mitchell, it's tough. If Quinion is if Quinion's available, and if all the other corners are still, if Terrion Arnold, if McKinstry is still there, if Wiggins is still there, I'd probably go wide receiver, to be honest, because you got to think of it this way. You're not thinking about just this year. Okay. That's if the Eagles sign a wide receiver 3 in free agency and they get to the draft, they're not making a move like this. But if the wide receiver 3 position is still fucking empty at this point, that could be a major move for the Eagles. A major move. It's not as bad as everyone thinks it is. We don't need a receiver. It's not bad because at the end of the day, like, Devontae Smith's getting his extension. AJ Brown is going to be here for a couple more seasons, and God knows if he's still going to be here. And if he is, great. If he takes a lot less money and says, hey, I want to play with my best friend Jalen Hurts, and I like Devontae Smith, and I want to be here the rest of my career, and I'll take as less money as I can. You know, he just made his big contract. You know, he just made his big money contract. After it's over, is he going to want more? Is he going to take less? That really comes to effect. So it doesn't mean they can't move back up. Like, I think McKinstry could fall a little bit more. I think they could fall a little bit. We'll see. I feel like with 2 second-round picks and 4 fifth-rounders, you can move into this fucking first round again easily. But if they draft a receiver first round, I need to move up again. The only reason I'm drafting receiver first round is if they have plans on moving up again. That's the only reason. That's if they don't sign a corner in free agency. Or, you know, if they go after a big name, or they sign a mid-tier guy, or they trade for Asante Samuel Jr. I don't know, some stupid shit like that. Not stupid shit, but you know what I mean. So it's tough. It's tough. That second move, if they get a receiver in the first round, that second move has to be a trade up, because then you're going to lose out on all the cornerbacks. You can't sit in the second round and wait. That's the only thing I'm saying. James, I like the coordinator hiring. If we had these coordinators last year, we would have been back in the Super Bowl. If we had coaches at least a little bit competent, we would have been in the Super Bowl. That's 100%. Nick Sirianni is the problem, guys. Been saying it. Jerome Kendrick says, can't comment, Shakes, but I'm watching Go Birds, JK for life. Going to miss the best center that ever played. Thank you for coming in, Jerome. And yeah, it sucks, man. I feel horrible. I feel bad. It's a shitty day today. We'll get over it. You know, we'll be over it. Kelce will. The number one thing you have to think about now is that Kelce needs to do this for himself. He needs to do it for himself. Not only that, but he needs to. We have Jeff Stoutland in the building. That's the number one. That's the number one thing right now. You have the best offensive line coach in the league. Worthy a secret round pick. You don't overdraft. Oh, a second round pick? I don't know if he's a. I don't know. We'll see. Joey, did you watch be able to cover a parked car last year? This is crazy. Here's the thing, dude. If you're not playing press, I would love to draft a corner in the first round. I'm not saying I'd rather draft a receiver. I'm saying it's an outside the box move. Okay? That's all it is. You're going to draft a corner in the first round for zone or press. Right? You're drafting a corner in the first round because he's, from what you think, is the best man that's going to play press. You don't draft the best zone guy in the first round. If you're not playing, okay, if you're not, at this point, if you're not playing press at all, Why are you going to put so much stock into a guy that's better at press coverage when the Eagles won't even play that this year? And trust me, I hate this scheme, but we have the best coach for that scheme. And the statistics for what Vic Fangio did last year for Miami was pretty damn good. But I hate this scheme. I can't stand it. You know what I mean? Mr. Rupus is a super chat. Thank you so much. He said, what are we doing here? We going to receive first round after watching Drew Lock, Tyrod Taylor, Baker Mayfield, Cook's fan bases in shambles. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to get the best guy for the scheme, unfortunately, because if they're not playing press, why draft a guy that's better in press? What if you draft a guy that's better in press? If McKinstry or Terrion Arnold or some of these other guys, you draft them for press, but you're not playing press at all. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, I hate that we're in this situation, because if we had a normal fucking scheme that was a more of a aggressive attacking defense, then yeah, this would be easy. But because I don't want to waste a first round pick I don't want to waste a first round pick. There are guys that are better. Like Ennis Rakestraw is probably one of the high priority guys in the second round when it comes to zone coverage, athletic ability, aggressive tacklers, shedding blocks. Those are the type of guys we're probably going to need. I don't like it, but if you're going to get a mismatch in the first round at cornerback if he's better at press, that's it. It's got to make sense. And I'm not saying keep Slay and Bradbury. Trust me, I wanted them gone. I thought they would have been gone last year. I thought we were losing Slay last year to the Ravens, came back for more money. I thought we were losing Bradbury because Chauncey was going to get signed. Bradbury gets re-signed. And I'm not saying draft a receiver and like our nightmares are over with, but it comes down to the coaching too. But to draft a corner, take the scheme out the door, I draft a corner in the first round immediately. But because of that scheme, because of that off-ball fucking scheme that we're going to be drafting, okay? Sorry, that off-ball scheme we're going to be playing this year in that scheme, okay, with Vic Fangio, it's hard for me to take a corner in the first round, because what if Quinion Mitchell sucks at zone coverage and that's the most of what he's going to be playing? Like, do you guys see where I'm going with it? Like, I'm not trying to act crazy. Like, it's just this scheme changes everything. It changes how you draft too, especially at cornerback. Because I feel like at cornerback you need to draft the best zone guy than the best press guy. That's where I'm kind of getting at with this whole thing. So I'm not trying to like say we don't need a press corner, but if we're not playing press period, like what's the point? What's the point of putting all the draft stock into one guy that is going to be more of a weakness than a strength? You know what I mean? It sucks, but Mr. Rupus, we talking about press covers? We want to draft a one-trick pony wide receiver Worthy. What is going on? Oh, I'm not even saying Xavier Worthy. Like someone just asked, somebody gave me a choice of Quentin Mitchell or Xavier Worthy, and the whole thing with that, and I answered it. I'm not even saying Xavier Worthy. Like, it could be Mitchell, it could be Ladd McConkey, it could be any of those guys. It doesn't have to be Worthy. Worthy is not just because of his 40-yard dash, I can give a shit less. The 40-yard dash is a 40-yard dash. Who cares? I'm not looking for just speed. I'm looking for route running. I'm looking for explosiveness off the line, good in open space, great hands. Like, I'm tired of the Quez Watkins of the world. I don't think Olamide Zaccheaus was given a big opportunity, unfortunately, but I think this receiver class is nothing to shake a stick at. I think this receiver class is a very underrated receiver class. What's going on, Chris? Do you think we go after a center now? I think they go after guard or center, whether it's a mid-tier guy or they go in the draft. They either have to go sign a plug-in guy at guard, or they go into the draft and sign a big guy to big money or whatever. Or they go into free agency and sign someone to big money. I don't know. I don't know if this changes the draft board. I'm not sure. Joey, are we drafting Mitchell over Worthy? I would. And that's fine, dude. That's a Donnie Mitchell over Worthy. That's fine. Depends what type of receiver the Eagles want. Do they want a bigger guy? Do they want a mid-tier guy with great, or do they want a Lad McConkey type? That's really how it goes. But you're not just looking for this year. You're looking for you're not just looking for this year. Deer is a deep threat. That is, he is an all-around receiver. That's what we're doing here. Louis says, think we going safety at free agent, bring back Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and draft a corner for future. We need young talent at cornerback and doing it, seeing free agency. Yeah, I mean, I think safety's a big free agent target. Linebacker's a big free agent target. I think they go after defensively. I think you can go after edge rusher, linebacker, and safety. I think those are going to be your top. We're going to find out. I mean, we're going to find out what happens. I mean, if Malik Neighbors and others are there, yes, but everyone else is not worth. Hey, you never know. You never know. Corner class is one of the best, so why don't we not draft a corner? But I'm saying, dude, I don't. Do people understand what I'm saying, or like, am I speaking fucking Japanese? Okay, I'm saying we're looking at it as best corner draft, right? Get the best corner, but is it the best? And I understand that, like, you should be going best player available in the first round. But if you're not playing press, which is, these corners are good at that, is better than zone. If these guys can't play zone, which the Eagles are going to be playing these corners off the ball in fucking zone, then why are you going to draft a fucking corner in a fucking bad situation? Is what I am saying. That's all I'm saying. Does anybody get me here? Does anybody get me? If they drafted the best corner in the first round, I'd be off the floor happy about it. No issue with it at all. But because of this scheme, it changes things. That's all I got to say. Mr. Rupu said, Joe, I understand you, but you can have the same exact argument with the corner position. Most of the corner besides Wiggins and Cool are 8 art zone corners. Come on, Joey. Well, I'm just putting it into there. It's like, I'm just putting in an example of, like, if you're barely playing press, then why are you putting so much stock into the best corner for press? That's all I'm saying. Yanks is I don't. I was trying to read that, but it's not gonna happen. At the end of the day, like I said, if they draft one of the best corners in this draft, I'll be so happy, and I hope it works out. That's all I'm saying. I just get worried because of the scheme might fail some of those corners in the first round. Is all I'm saying. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm against it, because people are going to twist my words. He wants a wide receiver now. That's all he wants. No. It's I think you could customize it. I think you can pick and choose the first. Look, at the end of the day, your first 3 picks have got to be on the field. Okay? That's it. And look, if one of these top cornerbacks plays good zone, I am fine with it. Go get him. If it's Quinn and Mitchell, if it whatever, then great. I am all for it. Let's do it. Okay, that's all. That's all. That's all I need. That's it. Okay. Okay. This defense scheme is the biggest enemy we have. It's stopping us from drafting the best available position can play both man and zone. That's what I've been saying. Ronnie says, I get you, Joey. You're just wasting a talent and a pick if you do that. What I'm saying. Go on, Eagles. This is Queen Mitchell is a schematic fit for us. He barely played press man at Toledo. If that's the case, dude, go get him. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying, did I say in this stream, don't draft Queen Mitchell, don't draft. I'm not saying that. I'm saying make sure when you draft one of these guys, if that's who you're going to draft, that these guys could play zone. Like, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not against it. It's not me against you. It's at the end of the day, we want to win a Super Bowl, guys. Like, that's where we're all, like, look, if we all agreed on the same shit, it'd be boring as hell. Okay? So when I have people coming back at me and saying stuff, that's great. You know, it's a dialogue. It's a conversation we're having. I'm not complaining. Not complaining at all. Yeah, I'm looking for the unofficial visits. That's where, like, Senior Bowl meetings or whatever. Every team meets with everybody. Okay, the Senior Bowl meetings, the meetings with some of the combine meetings and stuff. Like, yeah, you take into consideration maybe some combine meetings, but when it comes to unofficial, that's when things get kind of crazy. Drew Poo says, Joey, you're just implying that you're aggro receiver than corner. That just trying to make sense of your thing. I'm just thinking of different avenues that they could go about to get everything in one draft. Depending on who's on the board, who the Eagles get in free agency, the money that we have lined up, and everything else like that. I'm not saying that I'd rather get a receiver. I'm saying what's the best possible way for the Eagles to get everything in one shot while getting an offensive weapon that the Eagles desperately need to get this passing game going, because wide receiver 3 is definitely a big hole for the Eagles. Okay, I take a lot of situation with that. I go serious with offense as well, because we've been lackluster at that position. But yes, defense is a totally different story. I get it. I'm just finding the right combination of what they could get away with, what they could draft to kind of make both sides happy when it comes to your wide receiver 3, take advantage of drafting one of these really good talents and filling in your defense. I'm not saying I'd rather have this than that. The wide receiver thing is just an outside the box move that could happen, might not happen. But it's something to think about. That's all. Because to be honest with you, like, I would love to get one of the top edge rushers. If Latu was available, I'd get him in a heartbeat. But free agency is going to designate what the Eagles do. So if the Eagles sign a cornerback in free agency, you're not drafting one of those guys. If the Eagles sign a wide receiver 3, they're not getting a receiver in this draft. You know what I mean? So free agency will, that's why these streams every day, we're going to be seeing, like, what the rumors are, what direction they might be going in. We'll see what happens. Do I think they're going to go after L'Jarius Sneed? Do I think they're going to go after Jalen Johnson? Probably not. I doubt it. I don't think the Eagles are going to go down that trench hole again when it comes to, paying money, paying money to big time corners. I don't see them dipping into that again. Tommy says, I understand completely, Joey. I'm gonna hate this scheme and it makes everything more complicated. Yeah, it does. It does at times. I just don't want the scheme over the players. That's where I'm gonna worry, because there are a lot of players that love the scheme with Fangio, and there are a lot of players that hate how they were used with Fangio, but had successful seasons, but hated it, didn't have fun in it. Like, I get it. So like I said, like, I'm not trying to turn everybody against like what they think. Bring your opinions. This is great. This is great. You know what I mean? I don't mind this at all. You know? Make money, not friends. His free agency needs to start. Oh yeah, dude. We have what? March 11th. So we have a bit. So these streams are gonna go for March 11th until the rest of the days. So it's gonna get kind of nuts. And then going to this draft is gonna be insane. So we got a lot going on, man. A lot going on. We got 204 in the chat right now. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're going to be doing these streams every single day for free agency, the road to free agency for the Philadelphia Eagles. Make sure you subscribe. Like this stream up as much as possible. I do appreciate it so much. Day 2 of this stream will be tomorrow as well. So definitely check it out. 122 likes. Let's try and get to 200 likes if we can, guys. I do appreciate it so much. Much love to everybody that joined today. These streams are not for an hour. We'll talk for a couple hours. These aren't time limited, like until I feel like we've covered everything. You know, should be pretty good. I don't see why it'd be a bad thing. So we'll see. We'll go through this every day and see how it goes. Go through all the rumors. It could be free agency, the draft. It's not just strictly free agency. You can go through everything as of right now. So James said, would you give a first and second round to move up for who? Would you give a first and a second to move up for Dunn? For who? A first and a second? It better be for the best player in the draft. In your opinion, who's the best player in this draft? Like, best player in this draft, boom. Obey said, how much did the Eagles save with Kelce retiring? I don't think they save anything. I think they're going to stretch out his dead cap for the next few. I think he's on contract still for another 2 years or whatever it was. I don't think they get any money back. I don't think so. They already redid his contract. Remember they restructured him. They saved like $2.3 million. They already saved a couple million from him. Like this, I think at the end of the year they restructured him. They already restructured Kelce already. They already redid his contract already. So they've already saved like $2.5 million from that move. This happened at the end of the year this past year. So, oh yeah, we need a punter, no doubt. I mean, Braden Mann did a really good job. Answers Corner says, love the thumbnail, by the way. I think we need to sign, the profile picture. I think we need to sign a top guard free agency and then draft a corner in our first 3 picks. I think this scheme can work, so I want Howenstein to listen to Vic and get him his DB's linebacker. And that's another thing, too, like, Vic Fangio hires his own coaching staff. Nick had nothing to do with it. Vic is going to get the players he wants. And that's going to be the truth. Nice piece. I like Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU. Yeah, he's fast, too. Another fast guy. Beast Mode says, do you think Fletcher Cox will next year? Well, that's I think Fletch is retiring. It's not official yet, but the news came out yesterday that Fletch is going towards retirement. So, we'll see. Luis Felipe, what's going on, man? It says, fucking the scheme. Take the best player available. We did it harder with Carter, and look at the big man. Love to see him play in the second year. Look, you have to get best player available regardless. I'm not saying in the first round don't get it. It's tough because this scheme just fucks everything up so much. I feel like it alters what we're doing, but I hope it doesn't. We'll see. The best player in the draft is Neighbors, not even close. Beast Mode 79 says, love your stuff, by the way. You and Philly 500 are awesome together. I watch your podcast and videos daily. Much love, bro. Yeah, so, wait till we get to the draft. Me and Philly do the whole entire draft again this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be fun. We're going to have our Matt Corral jerseys on. We're going to be ready to go. Shout out to Philly 500, by the way. You'll see him post June retiring for Kelce saves. Oh, okay. So they saved more money. They just restructured him for $2.5 million. So I guess they'll save money on the retirement. I mean, look, another $1.5 million is another 1.5 richer. James said, would you give up a first and second move up for Odoms? I don't know if I'm too far into moving up that much for him. You know, but we'll see. Martin Stein said, no, the roster is so old and unathletic. Do not trade up, trade down, and get more picks. And that's another thing that they could do. I don't think they trade down this draft. I don't think they trade. I don't think so. If they trade down, it really depends on who's dropping that they want, that they feel like they can get on a drop, on a trade down. As Strauss Corner said, if Cooper Dijon is on the board, get him. He could play every DB position, the best DB. So yeah, so he didn't do the combine at all. He has a little bit of an injury, so I want to see his pro day. Want to see what he could do. You know, we'll see what happens. I know. There's rumors that he has an unofficial visit with the Eagles. We'll see what happens with that. It's hard for me to, you know, he didn't even test at all. So, Tommy says nothing tops the AJ Brown trade reaction between you and 500. Yeah, that was crazy, day. That was something I didn't. I went to the bathroom, dude. I had to go take a piss badly. I came back and everybody was talking about AJ Brown. Billy was like, AJ Brown. I was like, what do you mean AJ? What do you mean AJ Brown? Crazy shit. Daryl says D needs to step up and be healthy. Yeah, availability is the number one thing that Nakobe Dean needs. But you're gonna double dip, maybe even triple dip at linebacker. Whether you're gonna get Trotter in the draft, whether you're gonna get Cooper in the draft, whether you're gonna, I don't know. I mean, I feel like they need to sign. I feel like Van Ginkel is already a possibility. Already, I think Van Ginkel is already a Philadelphia Eagle at this point. I swear to God, dude, if I'm right, I don't know. I feel like I'm already right about Van Ginkel. I'm already just waiting on him getting signed already. Gonna be interesting. Davis needs to control his weight. Yeah. This is going to be this year has to be the year. Going back to his original position at nose should really help a lot. And the coaching aspect should be a lot better. JT56 says, yo, would having Dijon and Reed relationship in the same DB room break some sort of record for white DBs? Mark says, we are wasting our time with Dean. He's too small. He hasn't shown us anything. Even when he played, he didn't play well. I mean, the scheme sucks for how these guys were used. But he says, do you think Eagles trade for Snead? I don't know. I think the Eagles. Oh yeah, so the Eagles. So they're gonna tag him to try. They're gonna try to do a tag and trade. They're gonna if at this point. I don't know if they spend that much money. I think they make a phone call, and it might be that's the most that they're gonna do. I mean, if they sign him, I'll be shocked. Van Ginkel makes too much sense. Van Ginkel is a badass name too. I just remember seeing. Oh, I saw the statistics at the end of the year, and I was like, damn. But it was pretty damn good. But every time I turn a Miami Dolphins game on, especially defensively, Van Ginkel's name all the time is brought up. All the time. I was all over the field for Miami. Be a really good fit for him. You know, really good fit. Yeah, other than that, guys, I think we're good. 171 in the chat. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the stream. We're going to be doing another stream tomorrow. We're going to have the draft highlight reaction starting today. We're going to be going all over the place with positions and stuff like that. And, you know, people are going to be, you know, so get one of those memberships aboard. If you guys have it, check them out. Membership, $2 for the month. You know, check out some of the extra content we're going to have going there and doing our thing. So we'll talk about, so these streams are going to go every single day, late morning to early afternoon. And then, you know, until free agency and all the other stuff. So, but other than that, we're going to be ready. We're going to be out the door, ready to go. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure you subscribe, like, and do all that great stuff. It does help out a lot. And yeah, we'll be ready to go. You guys enjoy the rest of your